or treat. Smell my feet. Give me something horrific to eat. Welcome to a very Skewered Halloween special, brought to you by the Skewered Universe podcast. Now get out your bag of goodies, and let's have some spooky fun.
Welcome back to the Skewered Universe podcast. My name is Jeff.
My name is Leiann.
And we're back. We are continuing on with our very Skewered Halloween specials. And Leiann's here.
Oh,
hi. She wasn't here for the last one. I'm glad you're here now.
I try to avoid this as much as possible.
I know, but you're married to me, so you're obligated to come on at least once for a theme month.
Yeah, it's in our contract.
So before we jump in, how have you been, Leiann?
I'm all right. Am I ever all right?
I mean, it's debatable.
What?
I'm kidding.
No, it's been a very long, busy day. I now work at a cigar shop, and this is supposed to be our downtime, our down season, and I keep forgetting that there's a convention center.
Right.
So, yeah, there was a convention, and I was all over the place today.
Ooh, that makes a lot of sense why it was so busy.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I can't even imagine what convention would be. But
an IT convention.
Ah, okay.
There are lots of different types of conventions. I did not know that. At one point, there was a sorority convention. So that was interesting. That was really good for our business because all the husbands didn't have a place to go. So they'd come to our place and stay in the lounge. We have a smoking lounge. We've got lots of comfy chairs and we've got huge flat screen TVs. We show sports and fights and we've got Netflix and YouTube and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I've actually been there and I saw it. You showed me.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Very nice.
I'm very lucky to work there.
You really are. It's a cool spot. You got a cool boss. Aside from when it's busy, everything is really cool, you said.
Yeah, but even when it's slow, I'm miserable. So
I think that's just because of you being you. And that's not a bad thing. It's just, if it's too busy, it's overwhelming. If it's not busy enough, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
There's not really a happy medium because you're either extremely bored or extremely overwhelmed, and each one takes its toll on you.
Yeah, it turns out, now, I'm autistic now. So I wasn't before, and now I am. And
those darn vaccines got you!
Yep. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I should probably watch what I say more frequently.
But yeah, no, so it turns out I'm autistic and I have ADHD, so that's cool.
But at least it explains a lot that you were questioning your entire life.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting the ADHD. I found autism and I was like, this is the only thing that fits. And I was really stressed out because I was assuming that the doctors weren't going to listen to me. And it turns out they totally listened to me. And I think it's because he's a younger doctor. And I was like, bro, my whole life they told me it was depression, that I have major depressive disorder, and it just happens to be medication resistant. And it turns out, no, I'm just autistic and I have ADHD, and that's apparently its own thing, like that specific combination. It's like its own thing.
That's kind of like something we're going to be talking about later, being their own thing.
Oh, boy.
If, not to give too much away early on. But, you hadn't been here for an episode, and we hadn't recorded in a while.
Yeah.
Peel the curtain back. We're banking these ahead of time for October, so haha. Yeah, episode 1 is in the can and ready to be released.
Yeah.
You guys will be getting that on the 25th of September.
This is my favorite time of the year.
Oh, this is the best time of the year. I mean, some people love it because Christmas is coming and all that. I could give a fuck less about Christmas at some points. I like the spooky shit. When Spirit Halloween comes out and then the certain channels are running their horror marathons.
They ramp it all up. I love it. Me personally, I like from the middle of September to the beginning of January. That's like the sweet spot for me.
Yeah.
Because there's Halloween, there's Thanksgiving, there's Christmas, there's New Year's. The weather is going to be beautiful. Cloudy. I hope we get a lot of rain this season.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Ugh. Summer is a nightmare. It is my nemesis.
I'm over this hot weather bullshit. I've never liked the summer my entire life. The only thing good about summer is when we were in school, we got out of school.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
And you maybe got to go play in a sprinkler or jump in somebody's pool, but other than that, I'm a fall winter boy. I like to be cool. It also doesn't help that I'm
already cool.
Oh, thank you. I was gonna say something, but I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I was gonna say being fat in the summer isn't exactly a good thing.
I know, right? Oh, I forgot to add on my diagnoses: generalized anxiety.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
What?
Yeah.
And then they sprinkled in PTSD too, so that was fun. I was like, oh, I didn't realize. Anyway.
Yeah,
I know,
you got
right?
all your diagnoses. You got the autism, you got the ADHD, PTSD, and then general anxiety. Which I would much prefer generalized anxiety because it just means anything can set you off. It's not just one specific thing where you're like, okay, I have to avoid that. It's like, look, I just know at any moment my anxiety can kick off. I can better prepare for that as opposed to one random thing like, oh, you have anxiety over this one particular little thing here. And then you try to avoid it and then your life is shit. At least with general, you can be like, at some point today, I'm probably going to lose my fucking mind and go into a spiral.
It's like a volcano. It's always under the surface. It's always there. Who knows what it's going to be? Is it going to be a phone call that sets you off? Is it going to be a misunderstood tone?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to tell people now that I know about my own anxiety, it's just like you said, it's like a volcano. Everything's just kind of bubbling under the surface. So you're like always aware of that feeling. You're like, okay, well, nothing has caused me to explode today, so I think we're good for another day.
It's almost like you're watching a slasher movie, right? You're watching it, your heart's starting to pound a little bit because you know it's going to happen. You know something's going to jump out at you at some point.
Yeah.
But then it waits for the right moment when you're not expecting it, and then you,
So yeah, basically generalized anxiety is basically like waiting for a jump scare.
Yeah.
That is the perfect analogy.
Yeah.
I've never thought of it that way, and that is fucking perfect. Gee, see, this is why you're needed on this show.
What? Why?
Because nobody wants to hear me just ramble on for 2 hours. You bring good insights. Otherwise, this show is like, I like this. It was good.
I like wrestling.
I like wrestling. The wrestlers are good. They make the fights and the punches.
This is my favorite wrestler. What are we doing here today, Jeff?
Well,
I feel like we got a few things.
Yeah, we got a few things. We're doing the Halloween specials here.
I did not ask you how you are.
Oh, I'm doing great. Wow. I'm doing great.
I am so inconsiderate.
You know, I've been getting a lot more accomplished lately.
Yeah, I've noticed. You've been very productive.
My therapist told me to get a day planner.
Yeah.
And ever since I started using that, like, I've been way more focused, way more productive, and I don't have a bunch of shit rattling around in my head.
And you know what? Fuck you, because fuck you. And here's why. Because my cute little ADHD does not like journals and planners. And I have tried so hard for many, many, many years to utilize those things, and they do not work for me. And see you try it for a split second, and you're like, oh shit, my life is so much better. My mental health is great.
You know what's funny is I cannot journal to save my life. I will try, and I will start, and I will force myself, and it feels like a chore every time. And I'm just going through the basic, like, woke up, did this, did that, ba. But the planner, because I used one before in high school, it was like riding a bike, and I fell back into it, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I was able to actually have some semblance of organization.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
I wasn't saying it to brag, but I'll take it. Thank you.
Yeah, my therapist she is so funny and wild and crazy. Too bad you don't know her.
Yeah, I'd love to meet her sometime.
AKA, we have the same therapist.
And there's no conflict because it's not couples counseling.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will never know what the other speaks about unless we decide to share it with them.
Exactly.
And it's a beautiful fucking thing.
What? Why? What are you saying?
No, I'm saying that because I normally share just about everything with you.
Oh.
But if there's something you need to discuss that you don't feel comfortable telling me, you're able to talk to her about it. And it's fine.
FYI, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, but I don't sweat what you go to... Why are we doing this?
I don't know. Now we're doing couples counseling. We're having a therapy session
we're
now.
We're a podcast. We're not a therapy podcast.
So hey, back to scary movies and shit.
So anyway,
damn us for being healthy human beings in a loving relationship.
Yeah, no shit, right? People are turning this off right now. You fucking assholes!
They're good at communication with each other.
Strong communication skills. Good relationship.
Emotional intelligence bullshit.
Goddamn new wave hippie granola therapy crunch loving motherfucker. Anyway, so if you guys were around listening to the show last year, you know Leiann and I talked about a couple of Halloween TV episodes.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that so much that I wanted to do it again.
I had a lot of fun doing that. I think there was only one where we were like, eh.
Yeah, Living Single was kind of like...
It was the Living Single one?
Yeah, we really liked the Married with Children one with Robert Englund, of course.
But you know what, though? It's still... I think about that episode all the time anyway, and I see it come up randomly online, so I think it's generally a good episode. It's just not a good Halloween episode.
Yeah. I felt like the Halloween was forced.
Like, the whole Khadijah thing and her being jealous and all this stuff, that was good.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Halloween-y. It was just them in costumes.
Yeah, like the Halloween stuff was like, well, we gotta kind of do a Halloween episode. You could have just had Overton and... I just drew a blank on her name.
My brain's gone too.
Girlfriend on the show pranking Max. You could have just had that going on, yeah. You could have just had that going on, but they kind of like shoehorned that in with the romance thing. We're like, it's all in this episode. But I did a little more research ahead of time. And if you guys heard the episode prior to this, you know that cartoons are also on the table this year.
Of course.
And you selected a few, because I did not choose any of these. I merely made a list, I sent it out to people, and was like, you tell me what we're doing. Well, simply because I got lazy, and I was like, I compiled the list, I'm scheduling everything, you guys tell me what you want to cover.
Yeah, and I had totally forgotten that I chose these, so my brain loves to surprise me all the time.
So speaking of that, do you want to tell everybody what you chose?
No.
And then we'll determine an order as to how we want to cover these.
No.
Do you want me to tell everybody what you chose?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go in reverse order of how I watched them. We chose...
That was me rewinding.
So we chose the David S. Pumpkins Halloween special, an animated special from several years ago. Mainly because I enjoy the character of David Pumpkins.
Who doesn't?
He's from Ibiza.
Even if you're perplexed, you still love him.
I still have many questions.
Yeah.
I don't know why anyone would go all in on David Pumpkins, but I'm here for it.
I don't know. They can't all be winners.
We also have 2 episodes of The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Yes.
One is their Jacked Up Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one, I found out, is actually an episode that was, I don't know if you remember, before The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy was its own show, their episodes were paired into another show with another cartoon, and it was called Evil Con Carne.
No.
Yes.
Hmm.
Or Grim and Evil was the show. Evil Con Carne was the other cartoon. So it was Grim and Evil, and that's where the episode Grim or Gregory aired.
Oh.
As part of that.
Okay.
And then to round things off, we watched an episode of Beavis and Butthead called Bungholio, Lord of the Harvest, a.k.a. Butt-O-Ween.
Yeah, that is absolutely what I watched.
I
am very prepared.
So that is what we chose. Do you have any preferences to what we start with?
No.
No?
No.
So how about we just get you know what, let's get the freshest one in my mind out of the way, the David S. Pumpkins Halloween special.
Okay.
How's it hanging? I'm David Pumpkins. Any questions?
Who?
I'm David Pumpkins, man.
Are you a ghost or what are you?
My own thing. And since you picked the magic pumpkin, I'm yours for Halloween.
What? Magic pumpkin? Is this like a known thing?
Just listen to my song.
So, I did not take any notes on this. I'm just going to go off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
This was fucking weird.
Mm.
It was very much a kid's Halloween special, but yet the humor was very much like Saturday Night Live, which makes sense because it was written by Saturday Night Live guys. Essentially, we're getting told a story from this adult who, when he was about 11, met David Pumpkins when he took his sister to a pumpkin patch on Halloween. They picked the magic pumpkin, which summoned David S. Pumpkins. And he has magic, but it's not, like, useful magic.
Yeah, so essentially, the premise of the episode is, who is the Santa Claus of Halloween? Who's that one character that brings everything all together for Halloween? David Pumpkins.
Yeah. It's just, this is like, you think, okay, they're made an animated special, David Pumpkins is gonna be like this. He's essentially useless.
Yeah, do you know who, did his voice?
I think it was actually Tom Hanks.
I have a feeling it was not. If it was, I'll be very surprised.
If it wasn't him, it could have been his brother. I'm gonna look that up right now.
Yeah.
But the whole time I was laughing and I'm like, what the hell am I watching? What is this? It's as absurd as the sketches on Saturday Night Live. Like, his whole intro theme song just raised more questions than it answered. It was like, okay. I did really laugh, though, when they did the whole dance and had the music from the sketch from Saturday Night Live. This whole thing just... It was such a, by-the-numbers kids' Halloween special, but it literally... The main Halloween entity of David Pumpkins literally did nothing. He used his magic at the end to return candy to everybody in town, but it was literally the only thing it was useful for. Okay, so if we look this up to see what...
Oh, yeah, Tom Hanks.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, there we go.
That's a thing that happened. All right.
Yeah, I think their budget may have been spent on getting Tom Hanks and Peter Dinklage to do voices.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure Mikey Day, who was the thin skeleton, pretty sure he did a number of voices. in that. Because there was a few kids that sounded the same, just like they might have been pitched up or pitched down, and it sounded like him. This whole episode, this whole special... Now, I read online when I was looking for this that people were going, it's terrible, it's awful. I'm like, unless you know what you're getting into with the David Pumpkins character, this is exactly what you would expect. No questions are answered about his origin, where he's from, why he's there, what his powers are, nothing. And even... There's a haunted house on this block that is said to be occupied by the Raincoat Man.
Yeah.
Who's this urban legend. He's this guy who, he trimmed his tree and that killed some kids or something. Or tried to keep the kids out of the tree.
Man, I don't know.
Something like that. Lightning struck him, it melted his face off, and he's been haunting that house ever since. Well, there's these three, bullies of the neighborhood who essentially decide on Halloween night they're going to dress up as the Raincoat Man and go around and steal everybody's candy. So when they figure that out, they go to the house because all the candy's been stolen and the kids are all sad, and the main kid's like, well, I'm going to help. I'm going to go get it back with the help of David S. Pumpkins. They're like, well, what's he going to do? He's like, this! And he just lifts a pumpkin with his magic and drops it. And they're like, you guys are going to die. We're leaving.
Yeah, so essentially this kid is very awkward, too awkward.
Oh
everyone in the neighborhood thinks he's a fucking weirdo. And so he's like, if I could get David Pumpkins to help with this, then maybe I'll be cool and people will like me.
Yeah, I forgot about just how awkward he is because he sees his crush towards the beginning when he's walking with his little sister. And he says something, and she goes, what? And he goes, I'm a little toot-toot boy. What the fuck?
Yeah, I think she asked him about his costume or something, and he's like, I'm a little toot-toot boy. That's a house. And she's like, okay.
It was just the most random fucking thing that he's like, why do I do that? Like, we don't know. Explain to us why you're so awkward.
Like when the bullies fucked with him. They were about to leave, and he panics awkwardly and goes, I like your guys' bikes. And they're like, thanks?
They were so confused. Although I did like the touch of the one kid, the one triplet, kept ringing the bike bell. They're like, stop, what's a bike bell?
About that.
Will you knock it off with the bike bell already?
I just talked to you about that.
So I like the point when they get to this house and they realize, because these three brothers are idiots. They pulled off the perfect plan, but when this kid went to the house to confront him with David Pumpkins, one of them answers the door with their voice changer to sound as the Raincoat Man. And then a second one comes to the door as the Raincoat Man. They both use these voice changers. The voices are really deep, like, I'm the Raincoat Man. And then the third one shows up, and his voice changer isn't working, and he's got a really high-pitched voice. And he goes, oh, hey, guys, I don't think my voice thing's working right. I think it's broken. What? So it's immediately revealed who they are. But then there's going to be a song from David Pumpkins, and it never starts. It says, I'm going to sing a song that's going to make you wet your pants. And the entire time they're going, this song is hitting points where you should start singing, and he's not singing, and it's really freaking me out. And then, of course, I'm so in the weeds with David Pumpkins, a callback to his first... The special is weird. You're not going to like it, I think, unless you like the Saturday Night Live sketches of David Pumpkins, which I do. So I found this to be weird but enjoyable. Is there anything else you want to add? Because this thing is there's really no way to talk about it because it's just kind of all over the place.
I fucking hated it. I'm angry at how much I hated it so much. I did not want to finish it. I was so pissed off. I was like, I almost didn't finish it.
I wouldn't have blamed you. It's not great. I only liked it because it was so fucking weird.
I didn't like the Tom Hanks voice. I didn't like the drawing style. I didn't like the writing. I didn't like the dialogue. I didn't like the jokes. I didn't like the personality and character that they gave David Pumpkins, because David Pumpkins is supposed to be, like, mysterious and quirky, but this guy was just stupid. He's a fucking moron, and nothing he says is, like, clever stupid. It's just stupid.
Was also kind of a dick.
Yeah.
The kid was like, hey, don't embarrass me in front of this girl. She's my crush. And he goes, okay. And then proceeds to pull the kid's pants down and goes, look how clean his underwear is. Okay, one, don't do that to children, David Pumpkins.
So yeah, essentially the whole thing was him just being catchphrasy, except they gave him so much pointless, stupid dialogue that I don't feel fit his personality and the lore behind him.
There's no lore.
No, but the mystery is the lore. The quirky mystery. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I get what you mean.
With this guy, there was no mystery. He was just an idiot. Plain and simple.
Yeah. I think they just went in to make this as like, what if we just didn't answer any questions about this guy, gave him weird powers, and just kind of made him... If you took him out of this story, it would not matter. It would be the exact same thing. It could have been just the Legend of the Raincoat Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You didn't need.
They added too much to him, and it didn't actually add anything to him. I was angry. You're sitting there going, it's all right. It's kind of funny. And you're like, I was laughing at this one part.
No.
I'm like, I only giggled at one part. One stupid little part. Whoever wrote that joke, A+.
Which part was that?
The guy coughing on the bus. He keeps coughing, but then he'll say, sorry. Sorry. He just keeps coughing and saying sorry.
I did like how one of the skeletons was going, almost there.
Mm.
But yeah, the coughing on the bus, that was...
He would cough and then say sorry. It was the sorry that made it funny.
Because we've all been in that scenario.
But he's still, like, hovering over.
Like, as close as he can be.
But he's sorry. But not sorry enough to move.
Not sorry enough to move, but sorry that he's coughing on this kid.
Yeah, so, like, the whole 3-second joke, that made me laugh. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
Like, I'm not gonna recommend this to people.
Why did he have a strawberry O-lantern car?
Because you can't drive a pumpkin, apparently. That was the answer. I'm like, no, what?
You can't just throw random shit in there and be like, well, that's David Pumpkins. No. David Pumpkins is a very specific thing.
Yeah.
I hated it. I'm angry at it. Why do it? Don't do it again.
The more I think about it, I think I laugh because it was just so stupid.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to rethink my enjoyment of this. I think I was laughing because it was so dumb. And I just kept asking myself out loud, going, what the fuck am I watching?
I guess something did stand out to me. And of course, this one thing would stick out to me. I had a hard time watching this episode, right? I barely remember what the story was. That's how little I paid attention.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to see the tiny detail that I paid attention to? I clocked it and couldn't stop thinking about it.
Sure.
The window is crooked.
Oh,
the top part.
Yeah, I see that. The lines are not... Oh.
It doesn't line up.
No. Oh.
I clocked it immediately and I was like, son of a bitch, those bastards got corners.
Oh my
They can't even get windows right. To a normal person, they wouldn't have noticed. But to me, apparently part of my autism thing is pattern recognition. And so it stood out.
I can see that.
That is crooked.
I also was not a fan of the animation style.
Mm.
It was too...
simple?
Yeah, like it felt like they were going for a certain time period, so it was simple, but yet it looked too clean.
It looked too, yeah.
Don't. If you have an opportunity to watch this, I don't recommend you do. I think just watch the skits from SNL. If you have an
opportunity to miss it, do.
Yeah, there's probably a good reason this does not air yearly on television.
Unless you want to be angry.
I am second guessing my enjoyment. I think
I feel bad.
No, I think my enjoyment was more confusion. Because I didn't know what the hell I was watching. Because it would jump from one thing to the next. I'm like, there's a story here, but David Pumpkins does not matter in this story.
No, they just threw random shit in and went, he's quirky.
Like, if it would have been just him popping up randomly instead of, like, there to help somebody, I think it would have been a little bit funnier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's how I feel about that. You're welcome.
Yeah, so that one's definitely not getting a recommendation. So, how about we knock out Beavis and Butthead, and then we'll save the 2 billion Mandy episodes to wrap up on.
Sure, I just scrolled with my notes, even though that's pointless. So essentially, you gave me a screenshot, but I looked at the wrong part of the screenshot and watched a completely pointless episode. It was still a cute episode, but...
I feel bad because I'm like, I sent you the screenshot, and you're like, yeah, and it said this episode. And then I looked and I went, it's right below it. And I went, I didn't circle the one you're supposed to watch.
So, you can tell me all about it.
Alright, so essentially, Beavis and Butthead, we all know how this starts. But they're watching TV, they're watching horror movies, going back and forth, and they keep getting knocks at the door.
Mm.
And they're getting pissed because it keeps interrupting their movie. Butthead's like, that's like the 3rd time tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Beavis goes, well, maybe we should go see who it is. And Butthead's like, oh yeah. Goes to the door, it's 2 kids trick-or-treating.
Mm-hmm.
He just grabs their bags of candy, slams the door in their face, and Beavis goes, who was it? He goes,
I don't know.
Oh, somebody going door to door. We got candy. The kid's dad proceeds to kick their door open, says, you're going to steal my kid's candy? And then beats the shit out of them. Mind you, these are teenagers getting beat up by an adult.
It's not as bad as the one I watched.
I can only imagine. He takes the kid's candy, and that's where we leave off. We have... Now, when you watch these on Paramount Plus, which is how I watched it, they keep the music videos in there.
Mm-hmm.
So the first music video was for Alice Cooper's Teenage Frankenstein.
Oh.
And they did their banter back and forth, just talking shit. Mm-hmm. The typical stuff, right? So we come back to the episode. Beavis and Butthead go out trying to trick-or-treat in their normal clothes.
Of course.
Doesn't work. They're told by one neighbor, no costumes, no candy.
Right.
So they go back and they figure out, okay, we're going to get costumes. They put on bed sheets to be ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
And they're standing there looking at themselves in the mirror. Mind you, there's no holes in the sheets. They just have the sheets on them.
Yeah.
And Beavis goes, oh, hey, these sheets smell kind of funny.
Ew.
And Butthead goes, yeah, these are my special monkey sheets. And Beavis freaks out, going, get it off me! Get it off me!
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Gross.
He said special monkey sheets, and he's laughing.
He doesn't do laundry.
Yeah, so there's... You all...
Years.
The fact that those sheets had any give to them...
I know.
And they weren't just straight balanced on their heads is... Wow.
Different kind of starch.
So then we get a mini montage of them figuring out what to do. So Beavis comes back in, he's dressed up as Stuart, and he goes, hey, Butthead, look, I'm dressed up like a wuss for Halloween. He's got the Winger shirt, he starts singing a Winger song, and Butthead just kicks him, I think he kicked him in the nuts. Something, he hit him, slapped him or something, and you just hear Beavis go, ah! So then they're finally settling on costumes. Beavis walks in, he's got his underwear on his head, and he goes, hey, Butthead, look at what I am. I'm a Nad. What? He goes, yeah, I'm a Nad. like an ad. Then Butthead goes, "Oh, I got an idea." Walks out of the room. Comes back in and he's holding a pot that is steaming. And Beavis goes, "What do you got there?" He goes, "Watch."
Oh my God.
And he dumps it on his head and he goes, "Ah, ah, ah." It's nacho cheese. And he goes, "Huh, I'm a nacho." I'm nachos. It's like, what? You're going to suffer third-degree burns just for a Halloween costume, you more... I was like, you know what? So then, they start going out trick-or-treating. The first house is the religious speaker they've seen at school who's handing them out pamphlets about God and how evil Halloween is. They go to Stuart's house, and Stuart's mom's like, "You just missed him. He's down the street. You can catch up." And they're like, "What about candy?" She goes, "I have to save these for the trick-or-treaters, boys."
Mm-hmm.
But of course, when she opens the door, Beavis is like, "Hey, how you doing?" And Butthead's like, "Hey, baby."
Mm-hmm.
Of course. And I'm like, dude, why? Why does he want Stuart's mom? But it's like any woman he sees, like, "Hey, baby." They keep going. They finally they go to Van Driesen's house, and he's giving them some, like, organic, hippie, they're like, no.
Right.
They get to Anderson's house.
Okay.
He's telling them, and then he goes, "Hang on, I got a phone call." So he goes off. That's the best Tom Anderson I've ever done.
I know.
He goes and answers his phone, and they see this giant bowl of candy.
Mm-hmm.
So Beavis, being Beavis and the sugar addict he is, just dives in.
No. Okay.
He just dives in.
Hence Bungholio.
Yes.
Got it.
He's just, and you can see he's
shaking,
vibrating. He's vibrating. Butthead's like, "Save some for me." He's like, "Nah, no." And he keeps going. You see a family walk up, and the kid's like, "Trick or treat," and Beavis grabs the bowl and like snarls at him because he's so rabid. And they go, "We're gonna go to another house. Let's leave." And the kid's like, "But I want my candy." So he has gone feral.
Right.
Now we get another music video break here. Something called Hollywood Halloween by Paul Brusek. I don't know. It looks like it was filmed in the 80s out in Hollywood around Halloween time. So you're getting all sorts of crazy costumes. They get the banter back and forth, but then Butthead brings up a moment where he talks about Beavis' mom having a Halloween party. And they went into her room, and there was a guy dressed as Colonel Sanders, but he didn't have his pants on, and you can see his drumstick. And Beavis is going, "Don't talk about that. Don't bring that up. Stop talking about that."
And of course, he's going to keep doing it.
And as soon as Beavis goes, or Butthead says, "Yeah, you can see his drumstick," and Beavis goes, "Butthead, I told you not to bring it up." And he goes, "Oh yeah, drumstick." I was like, Jesus Christ, dude! You walked in on Colonel Sanders. Like, what the fuck? Oh my god. It was so funny that stuck out. Their other banter didn't matter because I heard that part. And he was like, "I don't want you to talk about that, Butthead." It's like, "Remember your mom's Halloween party?" And we went into her room. There was Colonel Sanders. And you could see his drumstick. What?
I think there was an episode where I think he calls him a butt munch or something like that, and he's like, "Don't call me butt munch," and so he keeps calling him butt munch.
And he pushed him over the edge. I think finally just beat the shit out of Butthead.
I don't remember.
I think that's what happened.
And I think even after he beat him up, he just was like, "Butt munch."
Anyway. I don't care what anyone says. I still find Beavis and Butthead to be hilarious.
Yeah, it's great.
So as we come back to the main episode out of this music video break, Beavis, of course, is his alter ego now at this point, Cornholio. He's got the shirt up. He's yelling at people walking by. "I need TP." They run into Stuart and two other friends who are getting ready to go TP a house. Because that's what Stuart wants to do, because he wants to be cool,
Yeah.
right? So, of course, when Beavis, as Cornholio, confronts him, he basically just intimidates the three of them into dropping their candy and toilet paper, and he just takes it.
Okay.
Which, to be fair, Cornholio's a feral little fuck.
Yes.
You don't know what he's going to do.
Yes.
So he takes that. He's continuing to be Cornholio. Butthead is mad because he's not getting any of the candy. As Beavis has Stewart and their friends candy. He's eating it, and Butthead's just pissed because he's not getting any. Then we see a car go by, and it's Todd. Butthead is immediately like, oh, it's Todd, his man crush.
Mm-hmm.
Todd
they
almost
be his best friend so bad.
So bad. Todd almost hits Beavis, who's in the middle of the street just doing the cornholio thing. It's like, get out of the street. And he's like, are you threatening me?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I am. And then he gets distracted. Todd gets distracted because Butthead laughs. It's like, oh, you think that's funny? Beavis walks off. Todd and his friends toss Butthead into the trunk of his car and just kidnap him. It's like, what? Okay. Beavis, in the meantime, makes his way to a graveyard and is walking through, doing more of the cornholio thing. As he gets to the front of the graveyard, there's a family walking by. He intimidates a mom, dad, and child into dropping the candy and running away. They flee for their lives. Kid's like, but I want my candy. Dad goes, well, I'll buy you more candy. We gotta get out of here. I'm like,
yeah.
Smart move. So, of course, now Beavis is singing the cornholio song, pee-pee and all the basics, because he's got so much sugar in his system. And he keeps walking around, and... okay, so yeah, we see... Okay, he intimidates the family, then we cut to Butthead, who is now dropped in the middle of essentially nowhere by Todd.
Okay.
And as he's walking, he ends up running into this, pale-looking... Well, hold on, there's a shadow that covers Butthead, and he's like, It seems like he's scared. So now Beavis is continuing to eat the candy in the graveyard, singing the cornholio song. And as he's walking along, he ends up in the same area where Butthead was, but now he sees there's this, really palish green-looking, farmer. Kind of a sinister-looking farmer.
Okay.
He's asking him, do you have any candy? Do you have candy for my bunghole? And all this. And he goes, yeah, there's some in the barn.
Don't go in the barn.
And as he heads to the barn, we cut to the third of music video break.
Okay.
So we get a King Diamond music video. Now, I have never seen any King Diamond. I don't know their music or anything. This is for a video called The Family Ghost. Their entire banter is just making fun of this group.
Okay.
They were making fun of the lead singer going, he's like a divorced dad who's like, okay, kids, I'll drop you off because I got to go put on my makeup and go do my music video. Just talking shit. The typical shit they do.
Yeah.
Now, as that happens, we cut back to the episode. Beavis comes to, he's in the barn, but he's stuck on a hook. He's trying to figure out where he's at, and he's saying, ow, this hurts. What's going on? Well, we cut to the door directly across from him, and we see one door open, and it's the farmer. Then another door opens, and it's Butthead. And he's the same complexion as the farmer. They're both very pale and kind of green.
Oh, no.
And as they get closer, we realize Butthead is whatever the farmer is. We're never told what it is, whether he's a zombie, vampire, whatever. Beavis is trying to figure out what's going on. Butthead and the farmer pull out chainsaws.
Yep.
And we cut to the outside of the barn, and we just hear screaming and chainsaws.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
The end.
Shit.
That's where it ended.
That's intense.
At the end of the screen, there's one little drop of blood that flies out, hits the screen, and then just trickles down.
Nice.
And that's it. It's a pretty fun episode.
Aw. I wish I would have been there.
I wish you would have seen it, because I was hoping that something would have triggered your memory of it.
Do you want my notes for what the one I watched?
You know what? Let's go.
It's
Let's
super
go
quick.
for it. Let's go for it.
So it was... Shit. What did I say it was?
Morning? The Mystery of Morningwood.
And, let's see. So they're in Van Driesen's class, and they are supposed to do an assignment, solving a mystery or something. And the boys are like, we're not going to do it because it sounds hard. And Van Driesen somehow convinces them it's okay to do their project on Morningwood, the mystery of how Morningwood happens.
What the fuck?
See what I'm saying? These are teenage boys, and he is a teacher.
You know what? I think at one point Van Driesen just gave the fuck up.
Bro, So anyway, they... for science, right? First music video, Beavis is me, LOL. I'm just reading exactly as I have it. Beavis is me, LOL. Quote, maybe there's going to be a hanging. And, quote, whoa, I just saw a boob. Beavis doesn't like seeing women be sick or injured, LOL. He's like, she's bleeding. Someone should stop filming and help her. Because she had, like, blood in her nose.
There are so many moments throughout the show where Beavis shows
he gets upset.
He gets upset about things, and you can tell, like, there's a genuine caring person underneath the follower to Butthead.
I love how complex Beavis is. He likes women. He likes fire. He likes lizards, and he's very knowledgeable about lizards.
That was funny in the newer episodes when he went off on all the... No, you're thinking of this. Like, what?
Yeah.
But also, like, too, when he's away from Butthead and hangs out with Stuart, he's actually really nice to Stuart. They actually get along very well.
Butthead is a horrible influence on him. So anyway, they go to Stuart's house to get some science stuff. And they go back to the house, and they decide they're just going to stay up all night to see, like, when the morning wood happens, like the Tooth Fairy, except it's the morning wood fairy. And they say fairies are for dill holes. Spank Magazine, April, page 63. TV Fairy laughing at their junk.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Music video 2, they're laying on their belly in Times Square. Ew. Conan O'Brien has a big schlong.
What?
Music video number 3, quote, I think this is supposed to be freaking us out, but I'm unfreaked. So, yeah,
God,
I watched
funny.
the wrong one.
Oh man, that's fine. I feel terrible though,
No
but
worries.
it gave us some good moments.
Exactly.
It gave us a good moment.
Content.
So now we get to talk about Billy and Mandy.
Yeah, which one are we going to do first?
Which would you like to do first? Do you have a preference? Is there one that you enjoyed more than the other?
There's one that I have shorter notes for, and that's the Grimm or Gregory. Maybe we could do that one first.
Yeah, let's do that one.
Okay.
All right, so the premise of Grimm and Gregory is it's Halloween, there's confusion, there's antics with Billy. Mandy is basically, like always, fed up with everything.
Yeah, Billy decided to dress up as Grimm.
Oh no, that's the Halloween special. That's Jacked Up Halloween.
Maybe I wrote it down wrong.
It's possible. Because Grimm or Gregory is a case of mistaken identity between Grimm on Halloween and Gregory, who dressed up as a Grim Reaper.
I mean, yeah, I meant Gregory dressed up. Okay. I had it wrong. Gregory dressed up as a Grim Reaper.
Yeah, Grim Reaper.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Whew. I was like, wait, no, my notes are, no.
And so I was like, that happens in the other one, but...
No,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so do you want to share your notes and then we'll go over...
You want to know what my notes are? All right. Chocolate ear, yum. Grimm is finally appreciated, LOL. When he's finally home, he's bummed, LOL.
Those are the notes?
For that one section,
For that one section?
Yeah.
Okay. Just for the Grimm or Gregory episode, those are your notes, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So basically what happens is...
Is it the whole episode that's the story? Because my notes are confusing.
That is the entire episode. It's just a case of mistaken identity.
Okay, so then let me read the rest of my notes, because they're kind of bonkers.
Okay.
Okay, so when he's finally home, he's bummed, LOL.
Mm-hmm.
Mandy says, I think your mom is cracked. And I'm always in TikTok mode, so my brain thought she meant cracked. like cracked, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh shit!
is she cracked? I don't know. I mean, she's got to be with the dad for some reason." The bed is shaped like a dog? ? He gets beat up by the mom. LOL. Next time I'm in the sun, I'm gonna say I'm bleaching my bones. And it kind of reminds me of the Burbs.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, I had fun with this one because the whole premise. It starts out with Grimm at home. He's watching TV. He sees Atrocious, who is the Billy and Mandy version of Elvira. Every show that has ever done anything scary has done their own version of Elvira. In Billy and Mandy, it's Atrocious. And he's like, "Oh, Atrocious, yeah, she's ooh." And then Billy comes in and scares him, who's dressed as a mummy. I'm a mummy wrapped in toilet paper. I'm sorry. I love the character of Billy. He's so fucking dense.
Yeah, I know.
But so funny.
He's so cheerful and optimistic.
All the time. He could be in danger. It's like, but I'll be saved. Okay. So, as we see this, Mandy comes in and she's like, "Okay, guys, we're going trick-or-treating." Because we all know Mandy calls the shots.
I forget. Are they brother and sister?
No, they're just friends.
They're just friends, and
They're
she's
just
there
friends,
all the
and
time?
she's there all the... Yeah, she's just... I think she uses him as her dumb sidekick, because he'll do whatever she says.
Yeah.
And then... Because they won Grimm in a game of something, and now she controls Grimm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the pilot and how it happened, but yeah. So as they're out trick-or-treating, they notice... Or we see there's a kid named Gregory who's dressed up as a Grim Reaper. Well, as a moment of confusion happens, Billy believes Gregory is Grim. Mandy immediately is like, no? He's like, "But look, he's got a skull face
That's
and a
not
scythe."
Grim.
She's like, "That's not Grim." He's like, "But the skull." She's like, "Okay, fine, whatever, let's just continue trick-or-treating." While this is happening, Grimm sees this woman who, what he sees from the back is Atrocious. Turns out to be Gregory's mom when he gets closer and starts to hit on her. And he's immediately like, "Oh, no." And she's like, "Gregory, we need to get you home now." And he's like, "Home? What?" So now we go down. Mandy already knows that there's weird shit going on, but she's like, "Whatever, I just want candy. Billy's an idiot. I'll just get him to follow me. We'll eventually take this kid home."
Mm-hmm.
Grimm, meanwhile, gets taken to Gregory's house where he's got a bubble bath and his mom, she's like getting him, just pampering him, and he feels loved and appreciated for once. He's like, oh.
He's actually happy. He's taking a bubble bath.
It's so funny. He's taking a bubble bath. What else do I got here? I'm looking at my notes. So while Grimm is getting the treatment, he's going to get read a bedtime story, and the mom's hugging him, and he's crying. He's so loved. Billy is, meanwhile, still convinced that this is Grimm until he takes the mask off of Gregory's face, thinking it's Grimm's head that he can lift off. And he's freaked out because he goes, Grimm put a little kid's head on his body. And Mandy's
that's
like,
not Grimm.
"No, that's not Grimm." So finally, Mandy, to rectify the situation, gathers up Gregory. They take him to his house. And she's like, "Hey, this is your kid. Will you take him?"
And then the
She's
mom
like,
is
"Gregory,
like,
if that's you, then who's..." And she sees Grandma and she freaks out.
Grimm's peeking around the corner hoping that he can stay.
Like, "Can I stay? Can I stay here?" Nope, she freaks out. I think she beat him up to get him out of the house. And then he's back home, and you can tell he's miserable once again. He sees Atrocious on TV, and he's like, "Ugh, I gotta deal with these kids." And it's... I forgot just how ridiculous these episodes were. And I don't mean ridiculous in a bad way. I mean, like, in the most fun way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad you picked Billy and Mandy. So yeah, that's Grimmer Gregory. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's cute.
Animation style kind of reminds me of Ren and Stimpy in a way.
Yeah.
Just because it's so wacky.
Yeah.
But then we have the final thing we watched, which was also The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. And this is Jacked Up Halloween.
Yeah, and I believe this one was a full single episode.
Yes, this was one full episode. It wasn't multiple segments. Yeah. This was a full-on Halloween special.
One.
Yes. Yeah. Do you have notes for this one?
I've got a decent amount of notes.
Do you wanna go through yours? Because I've just got a full, basically a synopsis of the entire episode here.
Well, yeah, let's see what my notes say, shall we?
Let's do it, and then we can always interject and add here and there. Nice.
Billy borrowing Grimm's scythe. I'll be super careful. What could go wrong, LOL? He immediately starts fucking up. Why did Grimm even let him? Sleeping Beauty's dress wasn't pink and she didn't wear lipstick. Erwin has a camcorder set to record out the window. Quote, if it's scary baby wants, scary baby gets.
He's so creepy.
Why does the old lady have brown gums and pointy titties? What the fuck? Pranktown penis building. When Jack gets a new head, someone says, yes, your baby sounds fat. Erwin turtle costume. Jack gets the scythe and befriends Billy. Different kind of spirit jack-o'-lanterns. Because there's like an army of them and there's different kinds of them. Erwin banana costume. Erwin little Bo Peep costume. Hot sauce in milk. Butthole cloud in sky. How's that?
I don't think we need to touch on anything else. You've basically encapsulated the episode.
Great. Entertainment 101. Penis building. Did you see that it looked like a penis?
I did. Once you said it, I was like, yeah, it did. Yeah. It did.
Immediately. I was like, that's a penis building.
Yep. And it's leaning just a little bit to one side.
Dress is on the right.
Now, I don't remember...
Taylor's got to make room for that, too.
He's got to make sure the tip doesn't get chafed on the zipper.
Cock.
Ding-a-ling.
Schwong.
Schwanz.
Little special friend. Wand.
Wiener.
Ding dong. Flagpole.
One-eyed trouser snake. What are we doing? This is usually what I say for Tales from the Podcast. When we're getting inappropriate, we're watching a children's show, where we're doing it here. As I compose myself here. Okay, so I don't remember seeing this episode when it originally aired, but I had a lot of fun watching this.
Yeah.
From the moment it opens with, you think Billy is watching like a scary movie because you're hearing a chainsaw and just sawing sounds. It's just an infomercial for a chainsaw. And he's freaked out going, don't come after me, chainsaw man, or whatever. It's like, what? And then we have the whole thing. Mandy shows up as Hamlet for Halloween. This is what prompts Billy to get dressed up as Grimm and grab the scythe. And Grimm's like, yeah, okay, but just be careful. Which, like you said, he's not.
Yeah, no.
But I love that this leads to Grimm telling them the story of a prankster named Jack, who in the early days of Ennsville...
Because I think Billy wanted to know how Halloween came to be.
Yeah, there's a question about how Halloween came to be, and it started off Jack was a prankster in Ennsville.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking, like, apparently Ennsville was around in, like, medieval times.
Yeah.
Because there was castle with a queen and townspeople, and Jack would prank anyone and everyone. It did not matter.
And they hated it.
They hated it. So they set him up. It's like, okay, we're going to set him up as sending a prank to the queen. And he'll be taken care of. And their plan works. But when Grimm shows up to take Jack into the netherworld, Jack starts to mess with him and prank him and tickle him and eventually gets a hold of Grimm's scythe.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes Grimm have to go into a deal with him to get the scythe back of giving him immortality. But Grimm being Grimm goes, okay, I'll give you eternal life.
Here's the caveat.
But here's the caveat. You're going to lose your head. So he cuts off the dude's head and then gives him a pumpkin, or jack-o'-lantern, if you will, for a head.
Mm-hmm.
Which means he can only emerge on Halloween to play pranks on people. And this Halloween happens to be the one where he runs into Billy, who goes to his house. And it would have been fine. He's leaving as Billy's there, and he goes, I got pranks to play, so why don't you and your phony scythe get out of my way?
And he's like, this isn't phony, this is the real deal.
Billy got so offended. He's like, this is a real scythe from the Grim Reaper. And Jack's like, oh, is it now?
So he's like, hey, I want to talk. And of course, Billy's like, okay.
Yeah. And he gets the scythe, and then the butthole cloud in the sky, because he's bringing in... He's summoning spirits from the netherworld to fill these pumpkins to become his army of Halloween.
Jack-o'-lanterns.
To take over the world.
Yeah.
And essentially, as we get the story of Erwin trying to impress Mandy, which is never going to happen with these other costumes.
Always trying to get a kiss.
Mandy decides, okay, if Jack's a prankster, I will out-prank him. So she sets up this elaborate thing with, like, hot sauce and milk, and there's, like, whoopee cushions, and all these other things that you would think of, and Jack basically goes, yeah, I'm not going to fall for that, because I'm the ultimate prankster.
But who does fall for it, Jeff?
Erwin shows up, but before we even know it's Erwin, we just see this shadow in this deep voice saying, I have arrived. Jack gets scared, because we see there's this giant knight. Well, then as it gets closer and he trips and starts fumbling through these pranks, we realize it's Erwin.
Yeah.
And the more he fumbles through these traps that Mandy has set up, the more they laugh. The more Jack laughs. And the more he is taken off of... He's knocked back on his heels with laughter so much.
His whole army is. They all
are
just
all
cannot stop laughing.
And because they made Jack laugh, this, like, alters the way the power works. So all his minions, their pumpkins are blowing up and they're going back through the cloud butthole.
Mm-hmm. They laugh themselves to death.
I mean, Erwin is getting attacked by bees. He's drinking the hot sauce spiked milk. He is not good at all. And they're losing it.
The eels in the pond.
Oh my god, the eels in the pond. I forgot about that. There was so much going on. I just forgot. I was laughing so much at this. Then it comes down to Grimm gets his scythe back. And Jack's like, well, look, you can't send me away because you gave me eternal life.
We made a deal.
Ha ha ha. Oh, there was one thing before this when Jack was going to be like, I'm going to control the scythe and rule the universe. He told Billy, I'm going to take off his head. And Billy's like, you're dumb because Grimm's head comes off anyway. He goes, yeah, but if I do it with the Grim Reaper scythe, it'll never go back. Mm-hmm. It's like, ooh, that's kind of dark. Well, anyway, Grimm gets his scythe back, and Jack's like, well, you gave me eternal life. You can't go back on that deal. Mm-hmm. He goes, yeah, but I never said where you were going to live forever. Mm-hmm. And Jack gets sucked into the cloud butthole in the sky.
Yep.
Everything's kind of back to normal. Erwin doesn't get a kiss, but Mandy slaps a whoopee cushion in his face, which is as close to a kiss as he's going to get. They're back home, they're happy, and we see Jack is in the netherworld now, with all these demons and, like, devil things and stuff, and he's pranking all of them, and he's having a good time. And that ends our episode.
Yeah.
It was fun. I liked that for a Halloween episode.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Yeah, it was cute.
I can't get over the fact that this isn't airing anywhere and it's not available on HBO Max through the Cartoon Network stuff is kind of a travesty, because that means people can't see this. Mm-hmm. Since it's not available anywhere, I'm going to recommend you guys do what you can to get a hold of it.
Do what you gotta do.
I found the entire series run. So we have access to that.
Nice.
So yeah, find it where you can. Some of the things are on YouTube, some of them aren't, so you'd kind of have to go through and find which ones are there, but I highly recommend you find Jacked Up Halloween. That one is on YouTube, that is how I watched it earlier. Be mindful, some of these episodes, like the Grimm, I believe it was Grimm or Gregory, the original episode I found that they uploaded to YouTube had a huge watermark of the logo over certain parts of the show.
Okay.
So the Billy and Mandy stuff had the watermark, and the other cartoon, Evil Con Carne, did not. So I had to find another version and watch. Because I was not going to sit there and try to watch it through the freaking... No.
Yeah.
So I think we recommend Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely recommend The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Absolutely.
And don't watch the David Pumpkin special.
Not if you're depressed and suicidal, because you won't make it to the next day.
Oh my god! So are you saying that it would be better for them to watch like Requiem for a Dream?
Yeah.
If they're in that state, they might actually not.
But only the end sequence. That's it.
Oh my god.
Just the really, really depressing part.
Oh god.
This has been fun.
I like this. I'm glad that we're doing this again.
I wish I would have watched the Beavis and Butthead episode, but
I will take the L on that one. That is on me. I will take the blame. I did not circle the correct episode, so you're going, oh, it's the one at the top, which is correct to assume.
Yeah.
That's normally how screenshots work. You're like, it's the one at the top. I should have circled. I have a markup feature. I have an iPhone. It makes it easy.
Right.
So yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited to continue this on. We have more guests coming on to do more stuff.
Like who? Is it a surprise?
No, actually, we have another person from the Discord group I'm a part of. You're wondering who's going to be coming on?
Yeah,
I reached out to my Discord group, and I already did one episode with someone, but somebody else reached out, and they particularly wanted to do Bob's Burgers.
Nice.
And they wanted to do all of them.
Yeah.
And I initially asked people to just pick 2, but I was like, you know what? Screw it. I said,
let's go
what about
all
do
in.
2 episodes? They were more than happy to do that. So when those episodes come out, I will be talking with Lisa, Ms. Fitmess. So I'll drop that. And then, of course, my buddy from New York, Patrick, who did the Scream Queens podcast. Going to be talking with him.
Love.
About it's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. And a Halloween episode of The Facts of Life.
Nice.
He mentioned that one. He goes, nothing else on here holds any interest to me. I'm like, that's fine. He goes, I could talk about Facts of Life. I go, perfect. That's what we're doing then.
Hell yeah. There you go.
So, yeah, that's going to round out the rest of these episodes, and that's going to be fun. Whoa. We're not done just yet. There's still some Halloween fun to be had. As you know, I reach out to people all the time and ask if they can come on the show, or even send in some audio feedback. And well, guess what? Our friend Cam Sully from the Jacked Up Review Show podcast did just that. So sit back and relax and enjoy what he has to say about the American version of The Office and their Halloween episodes.
Welcome all. This is the Jacked Up Review Show podcaster himself, Cam Sully. Again, always glad to assist Skewered Universe in their many franchise summaries and holiday specials. So once again, here I am. We did one a year ago on various sitcoms and laugh track based ones. So lo and behold, how about I sum up the Halloween based episodes of the American version of TV's The Office. And why not? So thanks to the administrators, they already had us ready to go. It's all the show notes and all the episodes, and they had a few question marks to some of them, and it's like, nope, you got it right. So lo and behold, they're There were a few. There were a few indeed. In this case, six. That's right, six episodes of The Office. And some of these I've definitely seen. Some of these it's been a minute, but I'm always rewatching this show, and it is one of those I get a pleasant surprise. It's just so vast with so many different running gags and comedic personas. And again, I don't have to stress it enough. Everyone loves the show because everyone's been in a situation like that where you got people in your workplace acting unprofessional and you're not sure if you want to keep going in and working 9 to 5 at this awful place. And lo and behold, yeah, the very first one they did was in season 2, and it was, of course, called Halloween. It's considered one of the best episodes. It was basically they did the laziest, most uninspired costume they could have done. Jim played Free Hole Punch Jim. It's made it look like names were popping into his face. Uh, Michael Scott is fired an employee on that same day with a paper mache version of himself perched on the guy's shoulder. And of course, Dwight is playing a Sith Lord, and people have memed that. But yeah, I do recall this. It is a wacky episode. No matter how many times you watch it, you just come away with some new gag. Now, the second of these 6 episodes is from season 5, Employee Transfer. And this one I hadn't seen in a while, but basically, uh, it was mainly a chance for Kelly, played by Mindy Kaling, to shine. And uh, it's so funny how she's always dating Ryan, and Ryan, played by BJ Novak, has decided to dress up as Gordon Gekko from Wall Street. But Kelly, having not seen many movies, she's dressed as Carrie from Sex and the City. She decides, oh no, it's the Geico Gecko. It's like, no, not even close. The name is similar, that's it. But yeah, uh, it's wild because yeah, this is another one. You'll see people sharing GIF files of Dwight, Creed, and Kevin decided they all must dress up as the Joker from the Batman film, The Dark Knight. And it's just so funny how, again, just it just shows you not only their lack of imagination, but how they take this contest way more seriously than their actual job. And you're like, no, guys, it's just something fun. So then we got the third one, Koi Pond. This is basically where the Dunder Mifflin team hosts a haunted house for kids in the warehouse. And I kind of forgot about this because there's so much bigger focus on other stuff than the costumes. And Daryl, Craig Robinson's character, he comes across the employees in the already in costume, and he just can't even, he just doesn't watch many movies, so he just doesn't know who they're supposed to be. And sometimes he'll make a guess, but it's still far from what he's supposed to be. And so then we get to the season 7 episode titled Costume Contest. And so yeah, once again, an annual Halloween party and 15K's worth of savings is the grand prize. So of course they're really trying really hard. Kelly's going as Amy Winehouse. Oscar, who doesn't normally dress up, ends up winning the prize, but it's even funnier seeing Angela be a sexy nurse, and you're just like, but this was definitely the first Halloween episode I actually saw all the way through. Trust me, I was a casual watcher of the show. I loved it, but yeah, I pretty much just remembered, yeah, it was around 08, 09. Yeah, it's the one where Gabe, Zach Wood's character, dresses up as Lady Gaga. I was like, yep, just without fail. I'm surprised that didn't become a meme. And so then we go to the season 8 episode. I know this isn't a favorite for everybody, but I'm one of those guys. I find a lot of good in every season. It never lost the focus to where I'm like, this is getting old, or I really actually dig James Spader a lot as Robert California, the new boss. He's hysterical. But yeah, so I don't remember this one as much. Basically, it's a sexy and scary Halloween, and they're trying to impress the boss. He's up to his own hijinks as he urges everyone to create an epic ghost story. So I'm not terribly familiar with that one, but I'm willing to go through a rewatch. I still am, basically. This is why I recommend everyone get Peacock. You get to watch the extended episodes of the show. So then here's the season 9 episode. Here Comes Tribble, where basically it's an a cappella group that Andy talks about all the time. They're finally performing, and this was a big deal because Broccoli Rob, who is an often mentioned character, finally shows up, and he's played by none other than Stephen Colbert. And makes sense because he worked with Steve Carell and Ed Helms on The Daily Show. So, hey, make the connections where you can. And this is funny because basically Oscar is caught kissing Angela's husband, Senator Lipton. So, yeah. Very wild, very wild. I'm going to check out the spinoff The Paper when I get a chance. But in the meantime, everyone stay safe out there. Enjoy all these other podcasters. Enjoy this show. Once again, plenty of neat stuff they do. And thank you guys for having me on to leave this voicemail.
And then after that, it's just back to normal for November. And then I think December, we're going to do Christmas horror again.
Of course. Yeah.
And you're probably going to hear one of our frequent guests, Chuck Nasty, on for that. So I'm going to talk to him about Terrifier 3 in December. So that's going to be some fun.
Nice.
Yeah. You know, a little gore for the Yuletide season. Other than that, Leiann, do you have anything you want to talk about before we wrap up here and do the final little spiel?
Suck on my shrone. Is that not good? Lick it good.
And while you're doing that, you can head over to skeweredhead.com where you can find all of the links to everything we do. That is the podcast. That is the Patreon with extra stuff. I have some new stuff coming up soon. It's going to be on Superman and Beetlejuice. So if you want to support the show, you can get access to find out what I thought about those.
Do it.
You can find Skewered Universe on Apple Podcasts. We are on YouTube. For now, we're still on TikTok. I don't know how much longer that's going to be, but you can also find us Amazon Music, Spotify, things like that. Every Saturday, I do a podcast with my buddy JB. It is called Tales from the Podcast. We are currently going through all the seasons of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Still?
Yeah, we have like 2 more seasons after this.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. There was the initial run, and then there was a reboot season, and then there was like another couple of seasons. Yeah, there's...
It's going to be going for a while.
Yeah, but we're gonna be taking a break for October.
Okay.
A little peek behind the curtain. We're going to do
and...
some spooky movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then we'll get back into the swing of things. So we're going to finish out the current season we're in, do some spooky movies for spooky season, and then get back into the swing of things for the following season. So if you check that out, we go live every Saturday, roughly 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes we go a little earlier, sometimes a little later. It varies. Depends on how we're feeling, but you can always jump onto YouTube and join the chat when we're live. We also have a video game over there. It's called Tales from the Podcast, the fucking video game.
Fucking video game.
It is a retro-style RPG where you get to throw cum socks at people and you go to hookers to save points in the game. It's a lot of fun. $10 gets you the game. You can find all the information for that, as well as getting access to the cheat bot for $5 more. All you got to do to find that information is head over to talesfromthepodcast.com. Again, that is talesfromthepodcast.com. You can find all that information there, along with the Patreon for that show. Like I said, the video game merch, all sorts of stuff. Comic book, Tales of Shock and Terror Volume 1. If there's still copies, I highly recommend you get that, because Tales of Shock and Terror Volume 2 is on the way imminently. I think that's it. I don't have anything else going on. Like I said last time, you can check out Kurt Jangle, who was on the previous episode, for the pregame. Head over to sickosclub.com. You can see stuff that all of our friends from the Discord have written over there. And yeah, I got nothing else. Leiann, you got anything you want to add before we disappear into the night?
I don't know. I just keep thinking about cum socks. They really make me happy. They're hilarious. Cum sock. Cock. Penis.
So get your cum socks, get your special monkey sheets, and keep enjoying that universe that's just a bit skewered.